Good morning. Thanks. My name is Jane Perkins. Our service leader today is Lori Whittemore. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Saco and Biddeford. We also want to welcome those joining us on YouTube and encourage you to have a candle or chalice to light when we light ours here in a few moments. Whoever you are, wherever you come from, whomever you love, we are glad you are here with us today. The theme for this month actually is welcome. We invite you to carry that theme with you as you are with us today and into your daily lives when you leave here. We strive to be a green sanctuary. It gives roots and wings to our vision of a world where all people build toward a sustainable future and make reverence, gratitude, and care for the living earth central to our lives. We want to acknowledge that our building sits on the unceded land of the Wabanaki Confederation, which includes the Abenaki, Maliseet, Micmac, Passamaquoddy, and Penobscot nations. We invite you to take home the order of service for information and announcements, or you may leave it for recycling as you exit the sanctuary. Our current COVID guidelines are on the back page. There will be a social hour in the parish hall after the service. Please join us.
What a glorious thing it is to come together again, to begin again in community, to journey through this new church year. For those who are new, you are most welcome. We are glad and grateful that you've joined us this morning. For those who return again for the second year, the 7th year, the 20th year, the 30th year, however many years you've been coming here, we are so glad that you're here. May this be a place of joy and a place of solace, a place of hope and a place of connection. And this year, I hope for you it is a place of challenge and profound spiritual growth. Awaken to the experience of church again. Look around and see the people that you haven't sat next to for a while. Feel the hymnal in your hands when we sing together. Feel the vibrations in your chest from the organ tones, and let them move you. Let your eyes rest upon the chalice gently as it's lit. Hear the words of our covenant as words spoken from a dear old friend. We will mix our waters today as a symbol of our community coming together as one, and let us remember as we do so that we are also meant to tend the water, to protect the water of our community and the water of the world. Welcome. Gee, the chalice. Yes. Yes. Light this chalice today to invite the Spirit to shine brightly on our commitment to love, our families, our friends, our community, and the world, to remind us that our ideals mean something, to inspire us to new ways to live out our ideals, to help us to find new ways to love. Now please stand as you're able and join me in singing hymn number 360. please join me in the reading of our covenant? This is our sacred promise, to gather together in peace, to seek truth in love, to serve human need, so that all shall grow in harmony with the divine. And please turn and greet your neighbors.
Good morning, Paul.
This is the time in our service we invite you to come forward and share what is in your hearts, whether it be a great joy or a sorrow that causes you pain. You can identify yourself or not, or you can just light a candle if that's your preference also.
Hi, I'm Donna. This is Betsy. And this is a candle of joy for the wonderful 2-week vacation that we had in Alaska and across Canada, which was a family gift. And it was organized and planned for by my wonderful granddaughter, Brindy, who is getting married to her wonderful fiancé, Zach, this coming weekend. So we won't be here next week. And she is just wonderful, and we are filled with joy.
No, Donna said it all as far as our trip and stuff, and we have many stories. But I also lit a second candle this morning for my son John, who continues to look for work. Send good energy, please.
I lit 2 candles this morning. Oh, my name is Janine. I lit 2 candles this morning. One for my sister-in-law who's in the nursing home, and we've run into a mess trying to get guardianship for her, and it's going to take a lot longer than we thought, which is putting a monkey wrench into everything. The joy was that David's other sister, Brenda, who hasn't seen Joanne in quite a while, came for a visit and staying with us for a few days, and we're happy to have them and very, very happy we had a very nice visit with Joanne yesterday.
I'm Keith, and I just wanted to hold up my high school English teacher, Grady Locklear, who I got to see in April down in South Carolina, and he is now in hospice, but he kind of rescued me and a lot of other lost souls in our high school years, and saw something in us and exposed us to art and poetry and beauty and the life of the mind and the soul. So I have great gratitude for him, and just wanted to hold him up this morning. Thanks.
Good morning. I'm Nikki, and I came in cranky this morning. And I apologize to anyone to whom I was cranky. I'd forgotten over the summer how much goes into putting a Sunday service together. There are a whole bunch of moving parts, but you know what? It came together. And looking around here today and seeing the faces of my friends, that's what lifts me up. And I'm not cranky anymore.
Yay.
I'm just lighting a candle because it's good to be back. That's all. I'm just glad to be back here. It's been a long break. I didn't come much for the summer, and it's just so nice to see everybody. And I was also cranky when I came in, Nikki, and I'm not anymore. I'm a little cranky still, but I'm always like a low-level crankiness. Anyways, candle of joy to just be back.
Morning, I'm Doreen Spirito. Yes, I also am happy to see you all this morning. And like to mention the incredible hydrangeas and the beauty of actually the fall flowers and the fall foliage that will be coming. And I'd also like to remember the people of Morocco, and may they have peace and hope as much as possible.
Good morning. My name is Peggy, and I just wanted to share with you how wonderful it is to see the world through the eyes of a 6-year-old. This summer, I got to spend every Thursday with my grandson, and he's 6, and it was sheer entertainment, and I was sorry to see him go back to school.
Hello, I'm Myra, and I want to say I'm very happy. We're happy that we have a 4th grandchild. My son Eric had a daughter. Well, his partner had a daughter. They had a daughter. Sophie Jo, 6 pounds. So she's a tiny one and so adorable.
Our custom is to light a final candle for the joys and sorrows that remain in our hearts but are unspoken at this time. Please carry what you've heard here today with you during the week. Thank you. The reading this morning is We Are Water Protectors. Water is the first medicine. Nokomis told me. We come from water. It nourished us inside our mother's body, as it nourishes us here on Mother Earth. Water is sacred, she said. We stand with our songs and our drums. We are still here. The river's rhythm runs through my veins, runs through my people's veins. My people talk of a black snake that will destroy our land, spoil the water, poison plants and animals, wreck everything in its path. When my people first spoke of the black snake, they foretold that it wouldn't come for many, many years. Now, the black snake is here. Its venom burns the land, courses through the water, making it unfit to drink. Take courage. I must keep the black snake away from my village's water. I must rally my people together to stand for the water, to stand for the land, to stand as one against the black snake. We stand with our songs and our drums. We are still here. It will not be easy. We fight for those who cannot fight for themselves, the winged ones, the crawling ones, the four-legged, the two-legged, the plants, trees, rivers, lakes, the earth. We are all related. Tears like waterfalls stream down, tracks down my face, tracks down my people's face. Water is alive. Water remembers our ancestors who came before us, she said. We stand with our songs and our drums. We are still here. We are stewards of the earth. Our spirits have not been broken. We are water protectors. We stand. The black snake is in for the fight of its life.
We are water protectors. Today we return to community in our traditional ingathering with our water communion. We gather our waters from places that have meaning for us, and we mix them together so that they can never truly be separated ever again. It is symbolic of our lives together and our coming together in this community. There are words in the reading this morning that could be contextualized to our ingathering and to our community. Water is medicine, community is medicine. For when we suffer from whatever we suffer from loneliness, heartbreak, or illness, it feeds us, literally and sometimes figuratively. Water is life. Community is life. We come from community, from our families and communities that came before us. Our DNA is comprised of the genetics and experiences that prepared us to create and participate in our own families and in this community. Water needs stewardship, protecting. Community needs stewardship and protecting. Our call is to steward the lifeblood of the world and of our community and of this community. The overarching theme last year was for building and rebuilding community after a time of COVID. I don't know if I ever shared that with you, but the idea was that we build ourselves back up so we could be ready to do the work that needs to be done in the world. And while we worked with themes suggested by UU sources, the subtext for me was rebuilding and nurturing our community and returning to a new normal after being isolated, learning how to be together again. This year, the overarching theme for me is challenge. To challenge us as a community to define our role as UUs in the broader community here in Saco and the world. The challenge us is to find the opportunities to grow our spirituality and tend the community while we courageously consider how we steward the broader community and the world. A couple of weeks ago, I got a call from a community liaison at the police department. She informed me that there were 2 people in their 80s sitting at her desk with no roof over their head. They had nowhere to go. She couldn't send them to a shelter. They were too old. And she was knocking on every door to figure out how to get a roof over their head that night and the foreseeable future. There is an unconscionable lack of housing right now. How can we use our voices, our gentle, angry voices about this, rather than at each other? I teach some classes and work with the releasing residents from the Maine State Prison. The jails and prisons are filled with addicted people, and for the very most part, their addiction is untreated, and their trauma that led to it is not treated. They're released with $50 and the clothes that they came in with and the name of a social worker who might help them. Sometimes getting a bed at a sober house as a transitional housing, but more often than not, they have nowhere to go other than to the people and the places that led them to their unhealthy path from the get-go. At worst, they land in a shelter. At best, they find a kind person. Where are our gentle, angry voices for these men and women who can't even feed or clothe themselves, who don't even have a path to working again, let alone to return to society in any healthy capacity? Where are our gentle, angry voices there? And the environment, climate justice. You need only look to Saco Bay to see the devastating effects of climate change. 3 to 4 roads full of houses have been washed away from Camp Ellis in the past 20 years. And the change that has happened has had a huge impact on the working waterfront and the people with less means that make their living fishing and chartering and clamming. Where are our gentle, angry voices regarding climate justice, even in our own backyard? Our gentle, angry voices, when brought together, harmonized, could have what I believe to be a profound impact on our community here and on our community in Saco and our community in the world. We are global citizens. When we are used against one another, when our gentle, angry voices are used against one another, they become the black snake. How we employ our principles while we disagree about issues, such as how we replace our heating system, is the greatest and perhaps most important spiritual exercise that we will take on in this community. As we pour the waters together today, let us consider the unity symbolized as an example of the relationship we are committed to being in together. People are homeless and hungry and desperate and addicted, struggling to earn a living wage, jeopardized by climate change. How are we using our assets and our energy to address the issues of the world rather than our own need to be right? What process do we use to navigate our conflicts in a world so riddled with conflict? If we can't do it here in community where grace and honesty and kindness are our beacons, how can we expect it to happen anywhere else in the world? In a community that claims to be democratic in nature, honoring the worth and dignity of each person, how can we imagine a world where that is even possible if it's not possible here? The black snake in our story is the discord that we allow to fester, or even worse, contribute. Protecting our waters means that we protect the water that is our community, for our sakes, of course, but also for the work we are called to do in this world, which is so needed right now. What we have, this is my favorite saying, what we have here is what the world needs. And as we blend our waters together today, let us prepare to harmonize our gentle, angry voices for the greater good. Let us create a process where disagreement is encouraged and supported and respected. And as we gather and blend our water this morning, let us prepare ourselves delightfully for a challenging year because we care about each other and we want spiritual growth for each other. Welcome to the gathering of waters. So now is the time to gather the waters of our religious community. We give voice to the preciousness and worth of force that animates each of our lives in origin, in continuing flow until we reach the eternal sea. We begin our commemoration of the life-giving force in each and all of us by pouring some of the water from this church, representing the great heritage we build upon and the memory of those who are no longer with us, but offer this community their dedication and service. Oh. Now is the time to hear about your life-giving journey. Those who have gathered water, who knew about that and brought some with us, those who come from the north or south of Saco, please come forward to pour your life-giving energy into our common bowl of strength and hope for the future. North means lakes and rivers above the Forks or in Quebec, and the waters below the Florida Keys or the Potomac. You decide the direction and gather your waters in one vessel and share a brief word or two about the significance of the water that you bring. If you didn't bring water, we have some here, and you're welcome to come up and pour it. But we just ask that you share with us where your water comes from.
And I will begin. Teeny tiny. I had a wonderful chance to connect for a couple of weeks with a cousin who was very dear to me as we traveled overseas on a textile tour. So this water is from Bergen, Norway.
This is water from virtual water, actually. Well, it's real water, but symbolic of the Deschutes River in Oregon, as I'm going to be rafting there next year since I wasn't able to do it this summer.
Hi, this water represents the water of Moosehead Lake. We weren't able to go last spring due to the complications in our lives, and we're going this week and are going to enjoy our time up there. It's beloved to both David and I.
I'm adding virtual water from Ossipee Lake, Little Ossipee, and Papoose Pond, and the lovely brook behind our house.
This is water from the Saco River from Rotary Park, which has become a real gathering place for, real multicultural gathering place. And it's wonderful to be there and to see how our community is changing.
So with my 6-year-old, we went to lots of pools and beaches and lakes, and we had a great time. And I love being called Meme.
That water is physically from the tap on Roebuck Avenue in Saco. And I'm delighted that water flows from my tap. It's a great blessing.
This water is from our well because I didn't feel like going in the woods into the wetlands to get any. But I figure since we live on top of this water that it's really special.
This water that we add is from Mendenhall Lake, Alaska, at the foot of Mendenhall Glacier, and traveled all across Canada home with us.
Since I've been in Maine, I have not traveled much because I love it so much here that I just don't want to leave. So this water is from my home where I find solace and peace and just the wonderful people in Maine.
Three bodies of water being remembered. The French Broad River, which flows out of the Blue Ridge into Asheville, where I spent a wonderful week with my sister. The Saco River, which gives us a lot of beauty to share. And Casco Bay, where we saw dear friends Tom Hardy and Ralph Cusack married last Sunday.
Hi, that's water that's symbolic of Horton Pond.
This water is from our home where we spent the summer with our boys, daughter-in-law, and baby grandson Hugo.
That water's from my kitchen tap because this was a tap water summer, but it also has been filtered, just like my life has been filtered by all my friends.
I
told Nikki yesterday that I was not going to bring water. I was going to bring symbolic water because we've had enough water this summer around here. In spite of all that, our families had some wonderful celebrations that kind of signify the growth in our family. 3 grandchildren, great-grandchildren, 2 of them turning 1, and the other starting preschool just now. Wonderful.
This is my first water gathering ceremony, so I think I brought too much. If anybody needs some. And it's from my tap water, which we're grateful that it's safe to drink.
Morning. This is from my apartment, where I share my water with my cat. He drinks every morning. It has been filtered, so.
I've had an incredible summer. Water has been very important for me all summer. This is for kayaking at Kennebunk Pond, from walking on the ocean every day, and from down east where I spent a week with my family.
This water represents the water from Sabbath Day Lake, where I had a lovely boat ride with my oldest friends and visited the nest of the eagle and the teenage eagles who were peering out from the nest.
I will pour in some water virtually out of respect for the rain that we had this summer and that we are out of a drought, hopefully.
I'm going to be putting in some water that represents water from Ferry Beach.
There's a lot to do to prepare for church, and we're not on our game yet, so please forgive me. I didn't bring water, but I'm going to pour water today, symbolically from our home that has hosted many young people all summer, and I'm both grateful and tired, and also from Bayview Beach, which we've enjoyed a lot this summer. So that's from mine. So I'm going to ask you to stand as you're able and join me in singing hymn number 347, Gather the Spirit. Please be seated. Just as the water is gathered from many sources and it's now poured into one container, may we now see our lives and spirits gathered into one community. Just as the water has the potential to sustain life and to cause living things to grow and become, may we recognize our loving capacity to nurture and sustain life. Just as this water, when combined with other water, has the potential to turn the wheel, to float the boat, to wear away the rock of the riverbed, let us not forget our own power. Insignificant alone maybe, but capable of moving mountains when joined in common struggle. Just as this water has the potential to clean the world, to refresh and refurbish, let us remember our own ability to see the world anew, washed fresh and sparkling with possibility. Gentle and gracious Spirit who gives us everything we have, thank you for this sweet water. Thank you for the life we share together as a community. Amen.
When we gather together as a community, we bring the gifts of ourselves, our hearts and spirits, our time and energy, our talents and skills, to support the work of the church, here within our walls and out in the larger community. We also bring our gift of generosity, giving of what we have so that the work of this church may continue. As always, half of our offering today will be sent out into the larger community to support the work that is making a difference in our world. This month, we are sharing our offering with the minister's discretionary fund. If you are watching from home on YouTube, donations may be made by clicking the PayPal link in the video description, or checks may be mailed to UUCSB, 60 School Street in Saco. Please be generous as the ushers collect the offering this morning.
The chalice. As we release this flame from its faithful service today, we allow the spark in each of us to burn on, to warm our compassion to fire our delight, to light our paths, today, tomorrow, and always. Now remain standing as you're able and join me in singing hymn number 100, I've Got Peace Like a River. Gathered back to community, renewed in sacred purpose, may we leave this place in joy, love, and hope, and may we return again in peace. Go in peace.
Everywhere you may go.
Our service has concluded. Thank you so much for joining us. We're done.